Alright, hello again there, StarCraft 2 world. This is Akaya bringing you another VOD. Basically, this is the Zerg tutorial that I had talked about in my last blog and video, the one I did about the Terran build order. Basically, what this is going to do, just a quick overview here. This build order is something that I've used recently since I've gotten to play with a little Zerg now over the past couple days. And basically, what I usually do is open up with a early Speedlings, try to do a little harassment, keep some early pressure on with those. And then if that can give me enough of an edge, what I try to do from there is usually tech to Hydras or Mutalisks, especially Mutalisks if I notice that in the early pushes, if my opponent is not going any anti-air, Mutalisks can be lethal, you know. Since they're air units, they do damage to air, they do damage to ground, and you can get a lot of harassment done on the mineral line, just similar to how it was in SC1. I'm not a sweet microer like some of the pros are in SC1. But anyways, just to get moving with this, basically what you'll notice is I went to 10 out of 10 up here with my supply on my drones, and then I set down a spawning pool to get that started, and immediately build another drone. As soon as that hatches, I get an Overlord going to get myself up to 18 supply. Once that Overlord hatches, basically what I'm going to do is crank out drones until I get to 18, and then once I get that, then I build another Overlord and then crank out Lings. And by the time I get those Lings ready to attack, I should have my speed upgrade finished as well. Now you'll notice here that I also put down a Vespene Geyser. Once I had built my 10th drone again, came back out here, I went ahead and built another Geyser. My first Geyser, and then I'm going to put 3 drones in it here right now. I should be any second anyways. Yeah, there's 1, 2, and 3. Just to give you a quick view around the map here, my blue Terran ally is up here in the top middle. We've got a teal Terran over here on the right, which has started to wall off their entrance, which is pretty typical on any of these maps with ramps on them. And then we've got the purple Protoss at the bottom, who is opening up with double gates. I do believe he gets a 3rd gate in here as well at some point. So he goes very, very aggressive build early on. He doesn't tech a whole lot initially. Yeah, there's the 3rd gate right now. Going back to the build order, though, the extractor I'm mining straight away now. I've almost got enough money to start my Speedling upgrade, which is 100 minerals and 100 gas. And also, I forgot to mention this earlier, the Queen here, this is a badass unit, and you definitely need to make sure you get these if you're playing a Zerg. In the original StarCraft, what you had to do was get a second hatchery, basically, if you wanted to increase your production, because, you know, each hatchery only produced 3 larvae. One of the mechanics in StarCraft 2 that you may or may not be familiar with yet is that the Queen has this spawn larva ability, which only costs 25 energy, and you cast it on your hatchery, and you see these little green eggs that are on top of my hatchery here. When those hatch, they drop another 4 larvae at that hatchery, so you can basically have a total of 7 larvae at one hatchery. And then what I do here, basically, is this full Overlord, the last Overlord that I got here from 18 up to 26, I just crank out a full set of Zerglings there. And now you'll notice here also that I'm upgrading my hatchery to a layer so that I can also start my Hydra or Muta tech once I finish this initial harassment. Now going and looking around the map, I've got a Overlord over the Protoss player's base, and he's obviously got three gateways, and he's got the Chrono Boost on it, so he's not really a viable harassment option just because he's very, very aggressive early. He's got a lot of melee units, and those 5 Zealots could probably easily take down my group of, how many I got here? 14 Zerglings. And then Terran, of course, is walled off right now. So initially, I don't get a whole lot of harassment in. One thing I do get to do, though, is keep pressure in the middle of the map. So if anybody moves out, I know that they're moving out. And hopefully I can, at the very least, slow them down to give me a little bit of time to throw up some static defense if I need to. Now, you'll also notice that I'm putting up another extractor here. What I decided to do in this game was go for Mutalisks. And if you go Mutalisks, it's a lot of gas. And since in StarCraft 2 they split it up so that you got 2 Vespene Geysers, if you really want to max out your gas supply early on, you need to have both of them. And that's what I kind of had to do so that I could get enough Mutalisks to be effective. My teammate has decided to go Reapers, which you can see a couple of these here. He actually gets off some very, very effective harassment against the Terran player early in the game here. I believe once he has 5, he moves out. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, my voice just cracked. Apparently I'm in puberty still. Anyways, so the purple player, again, just massing Zealots. They've got 9 Zealots here now, it looks like. So definitely too much for the Zerglings that I have. But the Terran player, on the other hand, only has a few units, nothing in his base right now, and basically nothing's guarding his mineral line, which is why the Reaper harassment was so effective. And then once he harasses Teal, we use my Zerglings that I had initially stacked down here by the Xel'Naga Watchtower to sneak in and also do a little bit of a rope-a-dope with him. You'll see that here in a minute, though, but that was actually very effective. So here comes the Reapers from blue. He's going to walk in here, and as you can see, Teal has absolutely nothing defending their base right now. So basically all of these SCVs go bye-bye in a very short period of time. Reapers just do so much damage to SCVs so quickly. If you are not prepared for it, you can just get steamrolled. Your entire mineral line can just disappear in literally a few seconds, as you can see here. And it's, by the time Teal gets back here, blue just runs out of there and literally loses one unit before he gets out of Teal's base, which, you know, unfortunately for Teal, if you lose that many SCVs, you don't want to let the units just walk out of your base. Now he's moving over to purple. At this point, I've started building a few roaches just in case, because I noticed how many zealots purple had, and I didn't want to just let myself get steamrolled because I had only a few lings and then just mutas. So at this point, though, I'm starting to build some mutas, which here comes the first group of them right now. And then also here comes the harassment. So blue moves in here with his Reapers, and then I notice that, so I come in immediately in his front door because he's chasing down the Reapers, and I managed to take out all of his probes in the front. So that rope-a-dope tactic actually worked very nicely, and I definitely would recommend it for 2v2 games, or even if you have enough a high enough APM that you can actually pull that off by micromanaging units of that sort by yourself. Although it's a little bit more difficult to do because obviously Zerg doesn't have Reapers or any cliff jumpers. So your only option at that point would be to use drops or Nidus canals or something along those lines to draw their attention to one side of base and then come from the other. Anyways, going back to the build order here, as you can see, the queen is constantly putting larvae on this hatchery, because that is so important